Okay, hi, all my LGBT friends and others. So I just wanted to read this really quickly about what is the book of Exodus, since we're in it and we're almost done. I'm not sure if I talked about the book of Genesis with you, but the book of Genesis really quickly. The author is Moses. We believe all 5 books are, the first 5 books are of Moses. The book of Origins, the main theme of it was to man's sin, initial steps taken for his redemption by divine covenant made with a chosen race, whose early history in here is portrayed, okay? So man is sinful and has sinful nature, and we need to be redeemed. That's why we need Jesus. Okay, so the key words, the beginning, the very beginning, what happened in the beginning, the first messianic promise, synopsis, the history of creation, our universe of man, the story of primeval man, the history of chosen family, the career of Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, the career of Esau and Joseph, prominent names associated together: Adam and Eve, Abraham, Lot, Esau, Jacob, Joseph and his brothers, Cain and Abel, Isaac and Ishmael, the great spiritual characters: Enoch, Noah, Abraham, Jacob, Joseph, the lessons of the ages, the Bible, the mankind ruined, paradise lost, Garden of Eden, plan of salvation instituted. The Bible closes with the promise of redemption, paradise regained, and you should, when we get to Revelations, this will tie in with Revelations 21 and 22. In the book of Exodus, which we're now reading, the author and central character is Moses. The main theme is the history of Israel, the death of Joseph, the erection of the tabernacle, deliverance, 4 periods in the history of Israel: the beginning of bondage, the oppression of Egypt, events of the early life of Moses, his birth, his adoption, his fleshly attempt, his flight to Midian, his marriage, the period of deliverance, the period of discipleship, the period of legislation and organization, arrival of Sinai and so forth, 10 commandments, other laws proclaimed, appointment of high priests, worship of golden calf. By the way, the golden calf was a idol and a god worshipped in Egypt. That's why the calf, okay? Let's see. The pilgrimage of Israel is a type of Christian life. So Egyptian bondage is a type of bondage of sin. Moses as deliverer, a type of Christ, between Christ and Moses. The Exodus is a type of abandonment of sinful life. The Passover lamb, a type of Christ, the Lamb of God, our Messiah. Pharaoh's pursuit of Israel, a type of evil forces pursuing believers. The opening of the Red Sea, a type of hindrance removed. The pillar of cloud and fire, a type of divine presence with believers. The Song of Moses, a type of song of spiritual victory, when he sung about God has drowned Pharaoh and in his chariots and so forth. The mixed multitude, Exodus 12:38, a type of worldly element in the church. Moriah and Elam, the flesh pots, the manna is like a type of Christ. I am the bread of life. I am, that it's a type of Christ. The water from the rock is a type of Christ. I am the living water. Upholding of Moses' hand, the need of cooperation with leaders in the structure of the tabernacle, its furniture, ordinances, garments of priesthood, the Ark of the Covenant, etc., are found many types of Christ and the church. Okay, so let's finish up with chapter 38:14. Okay, and the hangings one side of the gate were 15 cubits, their pillars 3, their sockets 3, and the other side of the court on the hand that were hanging 15 cubits, their pillars 3, their sockets 3. All the hangings of the court around about were of fine twined linen, and the sockets for the pillars were of brass, the hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver, and the overlaying their chapiters of silver, and all the pillars of the court were fillets with silver, and the hangings for the gate of the court was needlework of blue and purple and scarlet, fine twined linen. 20 cubits was the length, the height, the breadth, the 5 cubits answerable to the hangings of the court. And the pillars were 4, and their sockets of brass 4, and their hooks of silver, and the overlayings of their chapiters, and their fillets of silver. And all the pins of the tabernacle and of the court around about were of brass. This was the sum of the tabernacle, even the tabernacle of testimony, as it was counted according to the commandment of Moses, for the service of the Levites by the hand of the Ithamar, son of Aaron the priest. Bezalel, the son of Ur, the son of Hur, the tribe of Judah, made all the Lord commanded of Moses. And with him was Aholiab, son of Hishamach of the tribe of Dan, an engraver and a cunning workman, and an embroiderer in blue and purple and in scarlet and fine linen. All the gold that was occupied for the work and all of the work of the holy place, even the gold of the offering, was 29 talents, and 730 shekels after the shekel of the sanctuary. And the silver of them that were numbered of the congregation was 100 talents, and 1,760, 15 shekels after the shekel of the sanctuary. Behekah for every man that is half a shekel after the shekel of the sanctuary, for every one that went to be numbered from 20 years old and upward, for 600,000 and 3,550 men. And the 100 talents of silver were cast, the sockets of the sanctuary, the sockets of the veil, and 100 sockets, and the 100 talents, and the talents for a socket, and the 1,775 shekels. Where am I? Okay. And he made hooks for the pillars and overlaid their chapiters and fitted them and filleted them. And the brass of the offering was 70 talents and 2,400 shekels. And wherewithin he made the sockets to the doors of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the brazen altar of the brazen grate for it, and all the vessels of the altar, and the sockets of the court round about, and the sockets of the court gate, and the pins of the tabernacle, and all the pins of the court round about. Okay, chapter 39. Okay, my arm's getting tired. Okay. The cloths of service, holy garments, the ephod, the breastplate, the robe of the ephod, the coat, mitre, etc., all viewed and approved by Moses. And the blue and the purple and the scarlet, all made cloths of service to do service in the holy place, and made the holy garments for Aaron, and as the Lord commanded Moses. And he made the ephod of gold, blue, purple, scarlet, fine twined linen, and they did beat the gold into thin plates, cut it into wire, worked it into the blue and the purple and the scarlet, and into fine linen with cunning work. And they made shoulder pieces and coupled it together, and the two edges were coupled together. And the curious girdle of his ephod was upon it, and upon the same, according to the work thereof, of gold and blue and purple and scarlet, fine twined linen, and the Lord, as the Lord commanded Moses. And they wrought onyx stones enclosed in ouches of gold, graven with signets, are graven with the names of the children of Israel. And they put them on the shoulders of the ephod, that they should be stones for a memorial to the children of Israel, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he made the breastplate of cunning work, like the work of the ephod, of gold, blue and purple, scarlet, fine twined linen. And it was foursquare, that they had made the breastplate double, the span of the length thereof, and the span and breadth thereof being doubled. And they set it in 4 rows of stones. The first row was of sardius, of topaz, carbuncle, and this was the first row. The second row was emerald, sapphire, diamond. Third row, a ligure, an agate, and amethyst. The fourth row, a beryl, an onyx, jasper. And they were enclosed in ouches of gold in their enclosings. And the stone were, according to the names of the children of Israel, 12, according to their names, like the engravings of the signet, every one with his name, according to the 12 tribes. Kind of reminds me of the Book of Life. Anyway, okay. And they made upon the breastplate chains of the ends of the wreathen work of pure gold, and they made 2 ouches of gold and 2 gold rings, and put the 2 rings on the 2 ends of the breastplate. And they put the 2 wreathen chains of gold in the 2 rings in the ends of the breastplate. And the 2 ends of the 2 wreathen chains they fastened in the 2 ouches, and put them in the shoulder pieces of the ephod before it. And they made 2 rings of gold, and they put on the 2 ends of the breastplate upon the border of it, which was the side of the ephod inward. And they made 2 other golden rings, and put them on the sides of the ephod underneath toward the forepart of it, and against the other coupling thereof above the curious girdle of the ephod. And they did bind the breastplate by the rings unto the rings of the ephod with a lace of blue, and that it might be above the curious girdle of the ephod, and the breastplate might not be loosened from the ephod, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he made the robe of the ephod of woven work, all of blue, and there was a hole in the midst of the robe, as the hole of an harpagon, with a band around the hole, that it should not tear. And they made upon the hems of the robe pomegranate of blue and purple and scarlet and twined linen. And they made bells of pure gold, and put the bells between the pomegranates upon the hem of the robe, round about between the pomegranates. And the bell of the pomegranate, and a bell of the pomegranate round the hem of the robe to the minister in, as the Lord commanded Moses. Okay. And they made coats of fine linen of woven work for Aaron and his sons, and the mitre of fine linen, godly bonnets of fine linen, linen breeches of fine twined linen, the girdle of fine twined linen, blue and purple and scarlet, and needlework, as the Lord commanded Moses. And they made the plate of the holy crown of pure gold, and wrote upon its writing, like the engravings of the signet, Holiness to the Lord, in capital letters. And they tied unto it a lace of blue, to fasten it on high upon the mitre of the Lord, as the Lord commanded Moses. And thus was all the work of the tabernacle of the tent of the congregation finished. And the children of Israel did according to all the Lord commanded Moses, so they did. And they brought the tabernacle unto Moses, the tent, and all the furniture, his thatches, his bores, his bars, pillars, and his sockets, and covered of ram's skins dyed red, and covering of badger's skin, and the veil of the covering, and the ark of the testimony, and the staves thereof, and the mercy seat, and the table, and all the vessels thereof, and all the showbread, and pure candlestick with the lamps thereof, even with the lamps to be set in order, all the vessels thereof, and the oil for light, and the golden altar, and the anointing oil, and the sweet incense, and hanging for the tabernacle door, the brazen altar, and his grate of brass, his staves, all of his vessels, the laver, and at his foot, the hangings of the court, his pillars, his sockets, the hanging of the court gate, the cords, his pins, the vessels of service, the tabernacle for the tent of the congregation, the cloths of service to do service in the holy place, and the holy garments for Aaron the priest and his sons, the garments to minister to the priest's office, according to all the Lord commanded Moses. So the children of Israel made all the work. And Moses did look upon all the work, and behold, they had done it as the Lord commanded. Even so had they done it. Moses blessed them. Okay, I'm going to stop right here and start. And we have a few more verses, and we're almost done with Exodus. Okay, thank you.